Have you ever had that moment where you remember the first video game console you ever touched, if you ever had owned one? For some people, it was a Wii in the living room, and for others, it might have been a PlayStation or an Xbox. But what we often forget is that consoles have been around for more than 50 years, and they've shaped modern entertainment in ways most people don't even realize. Today, I'm going to walk you through how video game consoles began, how they grew, through major company rivalries, and how they become one of the biggest cultural and technological influences in the world. I've played games my whole life, but researching this topic through academic books, peer-reviewed articles, and technology experts helped me understand just how big of an impact consoles actually have. So today, I'll be happy to cover three main areas, where first, the earliest consoles in the state of the gaming in the 1970s and early 80s. Second, the rise of Nintendo and Sega and the console wars. And finally, third, the cultural and technological impact of modern gaming systems. First, let's look at the earliest video game consoles and how home gaming began. The very first home console was the Magnavox Odyssey, released in 1972. According to media scholar Zachary Horton, in his 2019 academic article, A Total Play and Learning Experience, the Odyssey was the first device that brought interactive electronic entertainment into the home by projecting simple dots and lines onto a TV screen. Just a few years later, in 1977, the Atari 2600 introduced interchangeable game cartridges. Horton and other historians explained that this was a major turning point because players could finally buy new games without buying a new machine. But this early success didn't last forever. In a 2021 historical analysis of the industry, researcher Kent Hugo Noyce from UIT, the Arctic University of Norway, explains that by 1983, the market fully collapsed due to too many low-quality games and too many companies entering the space. This event became known as the video game crash of 1983, and it nearly wiped out the entire console market. So home gaming started, grew, and it crashed. But that wasn't the end. Next, let's talk about the company that brought gaming back to life. So, Nintendo and Sega. They shaped what we now think of as gaming through one of the biggest rivalries in tech history. In 1985, Nintendo released the Nintendo Entertainment System, or the NES, and completely revived the industry. Noyce's research explains that the NES restored public trust in video games by introducing strict quality controls, unforgettable franchises such as Mario and Zelda, and other key factors. Then came Sega. Author Blake J. Harris, who wrote the 2015 book Console Wars, describes how Sega CEO Tom Kalinske launched an aggressive marketing and technological strategy that directly targeted Nintendo. Harris explains that this rivalry, known as the Console Wars, dominated the late 1980s and the 1990s, and pushed both companies to innovate rapidly in terms of graphics, sound, and gameplay. Eventually, the rivalry faded. Noyce's historical comparison shows that by the early 2000s, Sega could no longer compete after the Sony entered the market with the PlayStation, and Sega left the console business entirely. So after the rise, the fall, and competition of these early companies, what do consoles mean to us today? Let's fast forward to the modern era. Finally, modern gaming consoles have become one of the biggest cultural and technological influences in the world today. According to the Entertainment Software Association's 2018 industry report, nearly 60% of Americans play video games daily, and the US gaming industry earned about $36 billion in 2017 alone. Gaming is no longer a niche hobby, it's a mainstream part of life. Video game consoles also shape the way we connect with others. In a 2002 Game Studies article, educational researcher Kurt Squire found that game consoles, like Nintendo systems, helped families bond similar to traditional board game nights. And today, with online gaming consoles, they connect millions of people around the world through social play. On the technological side of things, consoles are more advanced than ever. In a 2020 interview with Penn Today, Stephen Lane, the director of computer graphics and game technology at the University of Pennsylvania, he explained that modern systems, like the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X, use solid-state drives and real-time ray tracing, which allow the games they play to produce near movie-level graphics in real time. And to show you how far consoles have come culturally, the Smithsonian American Art Museum held a full exhibit in 2012 called The Art of Video Games. The museum described video games as richly textured, emotional, and social experiences that cross the boundary into art. So, after looking at their origins, their competition, and their impact, let's wrap everything up. In conclusion, video game consoles have evolved dramatically over the past 50 years, from the simple Odyssey console of 1972 to Nintendo and Sega's fierce rivalry, all the way to today's ultra-powerful systems like the PS5. Along this journey, consoles have shaped technology, entertainment, culture, and even social connections. And as the Smithsonian's Art of Video Games exhibit shows, gaming has grown from a small electronic experiment into a major cultural art form. Thank you very much.